So today we'll be doing an unboxing of the Miyoo A30. Now this is a device that was sent out to me from the Miyoo team, and we'll be doing an unboxing. Now first thing, we'll be going ahead and just looking at the case. It's a very hard case, very hard itself, and I'm sure this is a nice carrying case for bringing this device around. So the first thing we'll be doing is opening this up, and as you guys can see on the top here, we have some paperwork. We have what it seems to be a USB-C to USB type A cable, and then we'll put this off to the side, and then we also have a USB micro SD adapter to a type A adapter. This is the USB A adapter to the micro SD, just to send or look at your files on the computer itself. Let's see if we do focus. There we go. And then we have what it seems to be a audio jack port cable, which is for connecting this to a headphones, which is a 3.5mm headphone jack. Now the next thing we'll be going on to is the device itself. Now let me get this device out and then put the case itself off to the side. Now as you guys can see, the device is pretty small in comparison to most other devices, and this is, I think, very small compared to the Miyoo Mini or the Miyoo Mini Plus. Now as you guys can see, we do have a small screen, and I'll also be putting the specs here on the screen so you guys can see all the good stuff in this device. Now the buttons feel really clicky, and I do like them. It's not bad in my opinion, and we do have, as you said, a nice D-pad here that does tap out after a little bit, and then we also have a nice USB, or not USB, but a nice joystick here. Now this joystick is pretty much gone into the device itself. As you guys can see, it is positioned almost all the way in it, and then we have the top part of the joystick that is protruding out. Now it's very subtle with the protrusion, so you don't get that much clearance with the joystick, just the top part. And I do feel that you can use this to play pretty much majority of the games, in my opinion. We also have a start and select button on the device. We also have the A, X, and Y buttons on this side, which are colored in black and red, which is somewhat of the color scheme of the NES controllers. And as you guys can see, this is a 480p screen, which I ideally would think this is for GBA games and maybe some other games that will fit this aspect ratio, in my opinion. We do have the TF card slot on the bottom, as you guys can see, and then we also have the other layout of accessories and buttons, which we do have the L and R buttons, or L1 and L2. We have the Type C, which is home, and then we have the volume rocker there. We have the L, R, or R2 and R buttons on the top, and put it a little bit closer so you guys can see. We also have another power button, which is, well, not the other power button, but the only power button on the device on the right side, and this is the home button on the top here. Now let's power this device on so you guys can see what it is like with the OS. Now as you guys can see, is Miyoo Linux games, and this looks kind of cool. It reminds me of the Miyoo Mini software, and I'm sure it will have the exact software as the Miyoo Mini. So let me come up a little bit closer so you guys can see. And then we do have recent favorites, games, RetroArch, we have apps, we have settings, and then we also have we have recent favorite games, RetroArch, and then we have the app, and then settings. Those are the only settings or options you can select from. We do have games. We do the arcade, DC, FF Play, and Mame. We have MD, Neo Geo, NGP, PCE. We have Pico 8, PPS, PP, PlayStation 1, SMS, Shoot, and WSC. Now, I've tested this device so far, and what I can say that the PSP, some of the PSP games do run, but this doesn't run PSP games very well. So I would definitely tell you guys right now, this isn't a device for PSP games. It is a really nice games for maybe GBA games and other console, but this wouldn't be the ideal handheld for playing PSP. You might be able to play a few of them, but I won't say you'll be playing every single thing on this device. Now, let me load something here. Now we are getting 60 FPS on this game so far, and this looks like, if you guys can tell, this is Ridge Racer. Now let's see how well we do play this game. Now this isn't a test by any means, just to show you what the performance will be like. I'm just gonna run through the setup process with this and get it started. Alright, so this is pretty much just trying to run this game and showing you guys how well it performs. Now, as you guys can see, it is performing very bad. We're literally getting 32 FPS on this game. And it's not running very well. I don't know if you guys can hear the choppiness, but it sounds awful as of right now. I'll give you a microphone test to show you how bad it sounds. Give me 1 second. So as you guys can see, this sounds really bad in my opinion. Now, what I will say is that this device isn't powerful enough to run certain games, but I will say the PSP is just one system that you're missing out on, and I don't think you should get your hopes up on playing PSP games. Other from that, I think you should be playing whatever else this system is suited for, which I don't mind losing out on one system. Now I'll go back, and then we have PlayStation 1. Now what I want to do is also go on to RetroArch. We do have a few other systems, and we do have other options. This isn't the only OS you can run on. Now this is just one ROM set or one OS that this system comes on, which you can try other systems in this ecosystem of ROMs. Now you can also load your own ROMs on this, which is pretty easy and simple as well. Now, as I can say, this device is very small and handy, and I would definitely think you get a nice play session out of this device. Now, what I would rate this device versus the Miyoo Mini, I think the Miyoo Mini is a little bit better, or the Miyoo Mini Plus is a little better device than this one. But I would say this is a nice pocketable device that can be pocketed into your maybe jacket coat or any other smaller scenarios when you're trying to bring this around. Now you can load this up with all your GBA games and play pretty much everything that you want under the sun from the GBA catalog. and you may be able to put some other stuff that are a little bit high graphics games onto this as well. Now I'll be releasing another video showing you guys how to put ROMs on here, as well as putting the OS onto this device as well, like a new or different OS, as well as testing and putting some of my GB ROMs in here and giving it a go. Now this system is pretty nice, but I would love to see a more optimized experience with this one. That's it for today's video. Hope you guys like it, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.